Hey everybody, it's Michael from the Loftus Party here with another video. It has happened. England has officially become so politically correct, they have turned into a Monty Python skit. All right, a long time ago, there's this guy, like Count Dankula. Pretty funny guy. He's got a puppy, and he's taught the puppy, you know, to like beg, and the puppy would put his little paw up. He took a picture. It looked like the puppy was doing the old Sieg Heil thing, the Nazi salute. That's hilarious. That's funny. Puppies are cute, and if we can't make fun of Nazis, I don't know who we're allowed to make fun of. That dude went to jail. He went to jail because his puppy made a Nazi salute. In Manchester, in the University of Manchester, they've banned clapping at sporting events. You can't clap at a sporting event at the University of Manchester because it might cause someone anxiety. What they're telling people to do is to be silent and do jazz hands. How crazy would that be? Something good happens, somebody scores a goal, and then it's deathly quiet and you just see 10,000 people. Some lady has a business and she needed workers, so she tried to get an ad in the newspaper. She wanted reliable, hardworking people, and the newspaper rejected her ad because it might offend unreliable, lazy people.
In light of all the conversation about gender and identity, we began to wonder if there's even a difference between men and women anymore.
Aware of the conversation going on in Washington State right now around kind of gender identity, gender expression issues, and the ability to access facilities on those grounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, there's gender neutral bathrooms in like all the dorms and stuff like that.
I think that gender is fluid, so if you want to use a bathroom because that's a place and that's a space where you feel comfortable and safe in doing so, then I think that that's completely fine.
People, no matter what their gender identification is, they should be allowed to use whatever restrooms they feel like they identify with.
Is there a difference in your mind between men and women?
No, yes. I mean,
possibly.
Socially, currently, yes, there is. There is no need for that difference to exist, scientifically and logically.
If you think that you're a male, or if you think that you're a female, that matters more than the biological difference.
There's not much difference besides what society forces onto people.
And how do you know the difference between men and women?
By what people think they are. So you can't like judge someone just on like their looks.
I don't think there's any one way to really distinguish between a man or a woman, and I don't think it's necessary.
What would you say I am?
Just judging off of your looks, I would say that you're a male. I would probably assume a man, but then you never know.
Do you think the difference between men and women matters for any reason?
No, not really.
I think most sociologists agree that the concept of gender is more of a societal construct.
To me, no. I don't feel as if it matters to me because at the end of the day, the person is just a person.
Then is there a reason to have those labels, male or female?
I don't think so. I think that it's, again, a social construct of this binary that we're given at birth.
There is kind of a difference, but at the same time, if someone wants to identify as one or both or as nothing, I also find that completely okay. And
you not your cup of tea?
Oh no, it's horrible.
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 Well, you know, some people as horrible as other people.
No. I think nobody in their right mind would ever like this. All right, explain this to me. What does this mean? If all art is meaning, what is the meaning of white lines?
What does this mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what postmodern means?
No,
Okay. This is postmodern, fatalistic, idiosyncratic, post-apocalyptic malaise, alien glitter, ironic oatmeal existentialism. There's a psychological phallus. The point is that it's important.
it's not.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mr. Dutton, thank you for your time.
And thank you for having me, yes, thank you.
I have this impression since I arrived from Eastern Europe here to Western Europe that essentially over the last few years everyone has just gone completely mad. I don't find something like rationality or logic and the conclusions that people draw from the informations they have are just completely mental, mad, not normal, illogical. And I have this impression as if this is some kind of a virus that is just spreading around more and more.
Yes, I think you're quite right about that. I think part of it might be quite a deep, quite a profound thing that goes back quite a long way. But I think part of it is relatively new. Basically, you have the promotion through social media and all this kind of thing, almost a kind of narcissism, whereby people don't suffer. Then they don't suffer in any way in childhood. They don't want for anything. They don't need for anything, and there is nothing to inculcate them with values of humility or of concern or whatever. And so they simply can't cope with being questioned. They're not used to it. They can't deal with being questioned. They can't deal with being made to think about things. They can't deal with being offended. And they have such a high sense of their own self-importance that they feel that their offence and how they feel is incredibly significant and should be respected, far more than logic or truth.
Told you that I was a woman, what would your response be?
Good for you. Okay, like, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
If I told you that I was Chinese, what would your response be?
I mean, I might be a little surprised, but I would say, good for you. Like, yeah, be who you are.
I would maybe think you had some Chinese ancestor.
I would have a lot of questions, just because on the outside I would assume that you're a white man.
If I told you that I was 7 years old, what would your response be?
I wouldn't believe that immediately.
I probably wouldn't believe it, but I mean, it wouldn't really bother me that much to go out of my way and tell you, no, you're wrong. I'd just be like, oh, okay, he wants to say.
So if I wanted to enroll in a first grade class, do you think I should be allowed to?
Probably not, I guess. I mean, unless you haven't completed first grade up to this point and for some reason need to do that now.
If that's where you feel like mentally you should be, then I feel like there are communities that would accept you for that.
I would say so long as you're not hindering society and you're not causing harm to other people, I feel like that should be an okay thing.
It shouldn't be hard to tell a 5'9" white guy that he's not a 6'5" Chinese woman. But clearly it is. Why? What does that say about our culture? And what does that say about our ability to answer the questions that actually are difficult?